Hello friend, Jim here with JBsBigAdventure coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you things and places that you should avoid when you're here at Lake Chapala. And if you've been at all a follower of the channel, you know that it's really important to me that I share things with you that should be important to you. But I learned something a long time ago. One was what you don't know can hurt you. That's number one. Number two is what you don't know, you don't know. So that is so true, especially when you're traveling to a foreign country where you don't know what you don't know. Our personal experience, we were exactly there. We didn't know what we didn't know. And it's kind of interesting when I take folks out on my exploratory tour and relocation service, the number of people that say to me that if it wasn't for that service, if it wasn't for me taking them out and around and showing them everything that was important to them, there's no way they could have known the amount of information that I share. They're getting in 1 day, 2 days, what's taken us 3 years to learn. So, that is why I'm doing this video. So someone 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, a couple that I was with came to town. We'd spoken on the phone, and they said that people coming here for the first time need to know things and places to avoid. That's why I'm sharing with you this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get right into the information for you. First thing is be careful of the voice that you listen to. We spent a good amount of time over lunch talking about all the stuff that they'd seen on Facebook, social media, even on other YouTube channels that quite frankly concerned them. But because they already had their airline ticket, because they already rented the car, and because they already had a hotel saved up, they came anyway and could not believe the amount of information they got just in the first day. So when it comes to not knowing what you don't know, Facebook is one of those places that I tell people, you just got to be careful. Personally, I don't have an account. I just don't like Facebook. Specifically, if you're going to a new country. Now, I know it's easily accessible. I realize that a lot of people use it. But what I'm sharing with you is there's some real pitfalls to it. So, what do you get? You get bad information. I literally spend time each week returning messages to people that have reached out to me for help. And basically, I put fires out because they see this or see that on Facebook, or they hear this on a video, and they want to know if it's true. Because if it is, they don't want to come. So, false information, untruths. To me, it's really important that you get the correct information. Also, there's no accountability. So somebody can say anything that they want on Facebook. And it doesn't matter how it affects you. They don't care. What's somebody going to say? You got wrong information. Okay. But you've already seen it. Once a mind's been expanded, for example, I don't know why I still get this, but I guess whoever has it on Facebook still, it's unbelievable. About people that come here need to be careful of the fact that there's noxious fumes that comes off the lake and expats are getting cancer. And it is like, that is so ridiculous. But you know how much fear that puts into somebody that's sincerely looking for a better place to go. So I put fires out all the time. The other thing you get is people that live in an entitlement world, meaning their world has to be like where it was before, because if it's not, they're going to live as if it was, and then they're going to live in the way where everybody here they expect to be that way. Such as, I think one of the most famous ones is, and I say famous because I heard it a bunch of times, why doesn't Walmart have their prices in English? Why doesn't Walmart have their items in English so I know what I'm buying? And whenever somebody asks me that, I ask them, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Miami, Florida. Well, if someone from Mexico went to Walmart in Miami, Florida, what if they said they expected everything to be in Spanish? Maybe Miami, Florida is not a good place. There's actually those from South America. Let's use Dallas, Texas. So that's something to think about. So you got to be careful about that. Another one, rentals. And this is all on Facebook. Rentals and houses for sale that are scams. I just had somebody here that was wanting to go see a house. This just happened. And I was trying to let them know over the phone that they're scams. You got to be careful. They had their heart set on this place. It ended up being a scam. It ended up being the exact thing that I told them I have to be careful of. Now, they were with me. They didn't get hurt. But they found out really quickly that maybe I know what I'm talking about. So, okay, that's in regards to Facebook. How about expat hangouts? Again, you just got to be really careful. So there's a lot of expats that actually congregate around the Ajijic Plaza. It's called Central. And I'm just amazed. I was going there a few times when we first got here, and then I realized these aren't the people I want to be around. The information that's shared, yes, people might be nice and helpful, and I had some people tell me that they don't know why people go there. They're nasty people. But what I'm sharing with you is the fact that there's a lot of people that live that go there. Right now, we're in the midst of an electoral scene in the States. I know that Canada's is next year, being 2025. But this is a time that we're going to be, it's the precursor to probably the biggest election in American history. And people are real polarized about it. And you get even more of that when you get enough expats around you. And I've got folks that have come down that have been really, really turned off to that. I try to really help everybody know that, you know what, people are like here just like they were in the States. The challenge with here is we're in such of an enclosed area that these people are like always around. And the negativity is always there. And I try to protect people from that. Because that's not the way that we should be towards people. I've got a couple that got here a week and a half ago. And they were blown away by a couple of the things that they were told that was very, very nasty and negative about living here. To find out that person had been living here for like 15, 16 years. What's with that? I've got another friend of mine that's now been here. I'm going to say he's been here probably maybe 6 months. Went to the Lake Chapala Society, which is another place that I encourage people to be real careful of being. And was going to check it out. And had his laptop with him because that's how he takes notes and such. And they were looking for help. It had something to do with the elections and all. I don't know what it was because I've not been there in quite some. Well, I've taken folks there, but it isn't like I've been there in any kind of clubs or anything. And he was sitting at a table, and the lady came over. Somehow knew that he was, for the most part, or was Republican. And in the conversation, she found out that he, in fact, was not a Democrat, and told him that he was not supposed to be there. Did you hear what I'm saying? Do you want to come here, invest the money, invest the time, invest getting a hotel, and going through all the anxiety before you even get here and you're boarding the plane? I know what that feels like because we went through that. Getting to Guadalajara, well, how do you get to Lake Chapala? And what are you going to do when all that stuff. Then to find people that are just outright nasty. Well, I just say be careful. I care about you. I don't even know you, but I care about your experience here. Avoid drinking water from the tap. Now, we hear about that all the time. And here's my precursor to that is, depending on where you're staying, depending on where you live. Yes, there's places that you cannot drink the tap water, but there are places you can drink the tap water. We happen to live in one of those. We live in a place where it's fed by a well, and the well has already been documented at 2 separate testings that it's drinkable water. Now, Barbara and I, we still get the big 5-gallon plastic containers full of drinking water, just because that's what we've been doing. But we can drink our water. I mean, I have no problem with it. If all of a sudden I want to go drink water, we don't have any more water at the bins, I'll just drink. Not a big deal. Not a big deal to me at all. So that's something else that you need to be careful of. Locations where you can't flush the toilet paper down the toilet. I have had folks that have come down for my service that have stayed at Airbnbs that you could not flush the toilet paper down the toilet. And that is like a yuck. So what do you need to expect about the toilet and the toilet paper? If you go to a public toilet, expect to be a minimum of 5 pesos. If it is a public, it's probably not going to be clean. There probably won't be a toilet seat, and there'll be no soap to wash your hands, and sometimes not a whole lot of water pressure. So you'll find these at like the Malecons, the parks. You'll find it in shopping areas. Just know that if you're in an older area, that you're not going to be able to do, because the pipes are actually a lot smaller. Remember, this place has been around here for a long time. So if you're in a newer area, you're not going to have to be concerned about that. But there are places where you do have, and I have had some folks say that they were told they couldn't flush the toilet paper down the toilet. And so it's just a really yucky thing. So one more thing. Neighborhoods without good, reliable utilities that you want to stay away from. There's places that you're going to want to know that they're going to have the higher rents. They're going to have the higher for sale prices. There'll be electricity outages, water shortages, because waters have to be trucked in by truck. It's going to have slow internet speed. So is it important to know a place like that you don't want to be around? The safest neighborhoods, probably the neighborhoods that are closest to everything, have the best views. Friendly neighborhoods, quietest neighborhoods. So it's important to know where those places are at. Now, I obviously can't go say, this area in the neighborhood and this area in the neighborhood and that. There'd be no way to do that, because of the fact that you're not with me in a rental car and us going around and I'm showing you all of the areas all throughout Lake Chapala, and I'm sharing with you everything that's important for you to know. Because what you don't know, you don't know. I take care of that. And you're going to get to know the truths and everything that you need to know to make your possible stay and living here something you're really glad about. Here's another one. Immigration status and services. I will tell you, do not use a facilitator. I don't care. I know there's those of you that have paid $500 for an online package, and you're told that you can get it done by a facilitator. Well, I want you to know that I've already got right now 2 people that came down that I was getting together with, and In fact, I was going to be getting together with them the day after they got here because they had appointments with facilitator. So we got together the day after that they were with the facilitator. Both of them went to two separate facilitators. These two people don't know each other. And both of them had terrible experiences. There were some things that they were told to do in advance with these facilitators. And it turned out that when these two folks went to talk to facilitators, they found out that there were some mistakes that were made and they have to start all over again. So yes, they have to go back to the States. Now, why do I share with you? Because of the fact that you don't want a facilitator, you want an attorney. Case in point, I've got a gal that was just here. She came back to get her temporal renewed, because you renew it after the year's up. And when she got through immigration here, they didn't stamp her passport. They did not stamp her passport. She got here, she went to meet with my immigration attorney, and the immigration attorney told her that they didn't stamp your passport. You go back to the border. She just spent the money to get here. Now she has to go back to the border to be able to get her passport stamped. So she had an attorney. The attorney that I actually share with folks. The attorney went with her to the airport. The attorney went in, because she knows what she's doing, found the right person in immigration, and got her passport stamped. Done deal. She got her renewal, but it's because she had an immigration attorney. I encourage you, do not use a facilitator. I don't want you to get burned in any way. Where not to stay. This is, you know what? Here's I'm sorry. What the heck did I just do? All right. Know which bank in advance. That will get you the best time of a transaction. In other words, which ones work the best for you when it comes to transactions. The easiest, they're bilingual, the best ATM exchange rates, the lowest bank fees, where they have good employees, not nasty ones. And believe me, we experienced that when we first got here. And then we were told after that, don't go to that bank, or don't go to those two banks. So we didn't. So that's the same thing I share with folks when they hear when I'm with them, of those aren't the banks you want to go to. Realtors, they're scams, people that go on here. I should say friend, not people, friend, because you're taking a look at this. And my hat's off to you for staying this distance of the video, because I'm sharing stuff with you. It's really important that you're gonna know in advance. Realtors, you gotta be careful. There's no requirement of training, certifications, testing, experience. So you're looking for somebody who's competent, honest, experienced, friendly, thumbs on the pulse of the real estate market here, the rental market, and you find somebody ends up being a scam. Know the value of a real estate attorney and an immigration attorney. Key point. If you're susceptible to falls and tripping, stay away from the cobblestones. That's going to be a lot of Lake Chapala. That's going to be, even after outside of the North Shore here, the 20 miles of where all the expats live, you're going to have cobblestones. Now, there are places you can go where there are no cobblestones. And that's one of the reasons why when people come down, I take them around, I show them where those places are. These are places you can walk. These are places that you can have a wheelchair. So I go through all of that. So that's important. So staying away from the cobblestones. Business professionals that are not honest. Stay away from them. How do you pick them? I've got, literally, this is a referral resource guide. You can get that free. All you have to do is email me and I'll share with you how you can actually get one of those for free. All the referral people that I send people to. If you're interested in that, just send an email to JBsBigAdventure, JBsBigAdventure 521@gmail.com. We moved here May of 2021, so JBsBigAdventure 521@gmail.com. Okay. When you're an expat here, you've a lot of times got a target on your back, even from other expats that might be wanting to sell you a house, that might be wanting to sell you something. I mean, there's all kinds of things that can happen here, and it's important to be careful about that. Here's an important one: which restaurants not to go to. Over the period of 3 years, I have found those. And I think that's an important thing for people to know. Rental car. Do not rent a rental car at the airport. Why not? You'll get long lines to wait in. Once you get to the desk. Now, this is being told to me of other people that have actually done this. Not me personally. They have long lines, you wait. Get to the counter. English is a real challenge. So if you do that, how do you get to Lake Chapala? Do you take a private driver, a taxi, a shuttle service, or a bus, Uber, Lyft? Well, bus, Uber, and a Lyft don't actually go to the airport. I don't even think Lyft is actually in Mexico, but I know that Uber is. I don't think Uber drivers are actually allowed at the airport. I think it has to be a taxi. So where do you go to get a rental car? Well, you go to where it's an incredibly competitive rate. It's cheaper. You get quick service. You're in and out in 5 to 10 minutes. When you go in, you're in your car like in 10 minutes. And they're bilingual. They're friendly. They've been doing it for over 33 years. Best thing, but stay away from the rental agency at the airport. Where not to stay here. If you're coming and you're looking for a place to stay, where not to stay. But you get to know where you can flush the toilet paper. Where it is clean. You got off-street parking, and you got the best rates. Another one that I've just learned by experience of other people, staying away from getting a Mexican phone. Now, I have had folks that come down here, they invest the money. I've got a concierge, a few concierge people that I know that I can call on to take these folks like to Telcel to be able to get a telephone. They get a new SIM card, either put in their phone or they put it into a new phone that they would buy. And I've had nothing but problems. And it ends up being that they take the phone back and they won't take the phone back. They won't get their money. It just turns into a mess. We use our own cell phone service. We actually use T-Mobile still. So that's just from experience of other people that might be something that you want to make sure you're steering away from. So here's what's important, because when you are here, there was a poll that was done in 1923, that was done in 2023, April 2023, stating there was 1.6 million people that live in Mexico, and the highest concentration of them are right here at Lake Chapala. And the high season is between 53 and 62,000. And there were 3,792 people that actually went to an online form and voted. 85% of them felt they were happy with life in general being in Mexico. 92% felt safe. 79% felt at home. 78% felt welcomed by the Mexican people. 84% saw it was ease of access to healthcare. And 91% saw that was healthy living was being promoted here. So those are some numbers that I would say the numbers here are even higher than that, because that's all of Mexico. So, as I mentioned, if you're looking for relative and pertinent information for your next trip, you want to optimize your time here and your hard-earned income, you have the opportunity of actually finding out how you can get one of my books for free and the referral resource guide. So, friend, I hope that's been helpful for you. All that stuff that you want to stay away from. So, without any further ado, if you found value in this video, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. Go to the bottom right-hand corner, the little red tablet, little red box you tap on, and you're subscribed. Give us a thumbs up. Stop by, say hi, ask a question, leave an idea for a video, and make sure you hit the bell, because that way you'll be immediately notified when the next video comes out, and you don't want to miss it. So with that, as always, thank you so much for being a part of this channel and really supporting this community. Have an awesome day. We'll see you on the next video.